This is our opportunity as your state program coordinators for the Master Naturalist. There he goes. It's our opportunity as the State Master Naturalist Program Office to provide training with these TMN Tuesdays, and we always like to use the January event as a way to give a state of the program address and let you know about all the things that were successful in 2025 and all the great things to put on your calendars and get excited for as we move into 2026. And has become tradition here. The lunch bell in the city that I'm joining in from just went off, so that does signal that it is 12 noon here where I'm at. And so we'll jump right into it. Especially if this is your first time, this is a slide that we repeat on all of our webinars that we host to set a standards for conduct, a standard for engagement with our virtual meetings that we host. And so we have a link here for our TMN Tuesday page where we also have additional information for that. But we do use WebEx as our main platform, and we have a help guide on our website that's linked there. If you are experiencing trouble with WebEx, they do generally do an update every couple of months. So that's why it's always good to log in for your TMN Tuesdays about 10 minutes in advance so that you can make sure that your audio, your visual is all set up as you need to. As an attendee, you are not able to unmute or share your video, and that's intentional because many times we want to make sure that our speakers have the ability to give their message, their content without interruption. And so Michelle and Hannah and I, when we're not playing the role of speaker, as we will today, we'll play the role of moderator and ask the questions that you type into the chat function, and we'll be those moderators, those voices for you to the speakers. But we do ask in the chat if you'll help us when we're moderating questions. Use the best spelling that you can, the best grammar, stay on topic and respectful and professional, obviously. Avoid any acronyms so that we can ask those questions to our speakers and make sure that we're understanding the question that you have here at hand. And again, if you are new here, watching your TMN Tuesdays live or as a recording in the year in which that TMN Tuesday was developed, was given in a live format, can count as advanced training within your chapter. So you're getting your first advanced training credit hour today by watching this TMN Tuesday presentation live. And work with your local chapter VMS director to make sure that you're categorizing that under the right category in your VMS records. And then the last thing there is just a reminder that you aren't able to unmute or to share your screen. And again, that's intentional. So don't worry, you're not broken today.
Before you leave this slide, I do want to answer. So one of the most frequently, since we do have a lot of new people on joining us for the first time ever today, a lot of new members, one of the most frequently asked questions we get after these sessions, these TMN Tuesdays, is it recorded and where I can find it? So quick answer, yes, we are recording and we will show you where to find it in the next couple of slides after.
And those recordings, Hannah's so good about posting those recordings, usually that afternoon, if not the next morning.
And we have a short survey. If you could help keep us to remain eligible for the funding that helps provide these events for the Master Naturalist program, and take a quick survey. You can hover over the QR code there. It's just 5 questions if you're able to help us and take that survey. And then getting started, here's a quick list of what's on our agenda today. Really, we want to tell you a little bit about what happened and things that took place in 2025 for the program, and then where we're going in 2026 with the program and our program plans. And to introduce to you again our state office. I'm Michelle Haggerty, State Program Leader and Coordinator. Mary Pearl, who you've already heard this morning in some of the introduction. She's our Assistant Program Coordinator. Hannah, give a wave. Hannah is our Program Support Specialist. And then Christian Lopez, who just joined us. He's no stranger to the Master Naturalist program. You may have seen him in other roles before with the program. He is our Student Program Aide. His role this year has changed slightly, and we'll talk about that in upcoming slides. Okay, so this today, the entire presentation today is a little bit of review of what happened in 2025, or really what our program accomplished in 2025. And then all throughout, we have updates on where we're going in 2026. So a little bit about our annual report. You may or may not know. So those of you who are seasoned master naturalists, you know that we do our annual report on a calendar year basis rather than our fiscal year basis. 2024, the 2024 annual report, you can see some of the numbers here on the screen of what was a result of our master naturalist work in the calendar year 2024. Our 2025 annual report, it will be coming out soon in early spring as we're compiling those numbers, and we like to make a big splash with those numbers in usually around National Volunteer Month week and celebrating that. So celebrating the program and you as volunteers at the same time. And then we celebrate you and your accomplishments all year long after that. So even beginning today. So again, celebrating your accomplishments as master naturalist with 2024, the milestones that you achieved and received, and congratulating you on that. So the next slide has some more detail on that. So there you see 2024, our program accomplishments. We had 712 new members in 2024. We're looking forward to the similar stats for 2025 as well as we close out those books here in the next couple months. Our volunteers contributed over 578,000 hours of service. It's another record breaker year for 2024. And again, we're looking forward to that for 2025 as well. Our master naturalists in your time, your service time is valued at over 13 million towards conservation in Texas. Our master naturalists in 2024 achieved or reported rather nearly 81,000 hours of advanced training. Our volunteers reached over 779,000 youth, adults, and private landowners through their outreach, your outreach and education efforts through your service projects. And then you made other impacts to your landscape through developing over 3,600 miles of, I guess that's acres, 3,676 acres, and then added 34 new trail miles to the miles of trail that our master naturalists have developed and maintained across the state. So thank you for all of your service and those accomplishments over the past year. And we're looking forward to similar stats for 2025 and reporting those to you in the spring as well. Hannah, we will cover TMN Tuesdays.
Do that, yeah. So I hope for those of you who did attend the 2025 TMN Tuesdays, I hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget, and for any newbies that want to maybe go and reference back to any of them, don't forget that they are all available on our YouTube. If you go to our TMN Tuesday page on our website, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a calendar showing you the whole year. You can click on the image and it'll take you to that video on our YouTube channel. And if you're wanting access to any of the resources for any of those videos, any of the slides or anything like that, those are all located in the descriptions of the YouTube videos. Just make sure you have to hit more in order to see all of the links, but they are all in the descriptions of those videos. So if you need the slides or anything like that, that's where you'll find those for now. Just a reminder though, and we kind of already touched on this and we'll touch on it again, these last year's TMN Tuesdays are not eligible for advanced training. 2026 TMN Tuesdays are available for advanced training, but any previous years are not. Now, we're not saying don't ever go back and reference them because it's fantastic content, even going back to previous years, fantastic content. All of that you can find at the bottom of that TMN Tuesday page. Just keep in mind you won't get advanced training for watching them. But again, fantastic information. If you missed any, feel free to go back and watch it again because they're all on our YouTube for you. And this is just a slide showing some of the numbers from the 2025 TMN Tuesdays. So we had over 5,000 total live attendees, And again, they're on our YouTube and a lot of recorded views on those TMN Tuesday videos. And you can see a breakdown month by month and the topics, and then how many we had live attending each of those topics. And again, this one's being recorded as well, and it'll also be on our YouTube. Probably later today, but if not, by tomorrow. Pearl.
Wrapping up some of our updates from 2025, we hosted an incredible annual meeting once again in October of 2025 in College Station, Texas. We had 569 master naturalists from around the state join us from 45 of our 48 established chapters, which is incredible to see so much buy-in, so many folks traveling in to learn about the Brazos Valley ecosystem, to learn from each other as master naturalists, and then to learn from the fantastic speakers that we were able to bring in. Speaking of our speakers, we have 100. We love the numbers, y'all. We're stats nerds. We'll talk about numbers all day, every day, as most scientists love to do. And so we had 130 classroom sessions, 25 field sessions, and so many other great points and figures across the annual meeting. But I do want to just give a quick shout out to those chapter members and individuals who were award winners during our conference. We have a great awards wrap up on our website, and I'll share that link here in the chat. But our project fair winners came from the Galveston Bay Area chapter, the Goodwater chapter, and the Elm Fork chapter, with their 3 project fair entries ranking first, second, and third in our annual project fair that we host every year. And so another huge shout out and congratulations to those 3 chapters. And then again, in our video contest, our Hays County chapter, our South Texas chapter, and our Rolling Plains chapter did some phenomenal work with some incredible videos that are all linked and logged on our website and our YouTube channel, so that you can go back and watch and maybe get some inspiration as you're planning to enter into our 2026 annual project fair or 2026 annual video contest in the future. And then our photo art and media contest, our best of show, was a quilt piece that Miss Sue Frary from the Indian Trail chapter, that was really just phenomenal, and was so great to see over 500 entries into our photo art and media contest this year. And that absolutely was a record setter year for that contest. So again, thank you all for everybody who joined us for the annual meeting in College Station last October. We look forward to seeing you guys all again in the 2026 annual meeting, which we'll share more details about here shortly.
My mute button. All right, so one of the things that we were working through during 2025 is all of our master naturalist guiding documents are on a 3-year review time frame. And so 2025 culminated that 3-year review process. We're now entering into another set of 3 years for that process. So all of our guiding documents, the primary guiding documents, such as our roadmap, our chapter bylaws, chapter management operations protocols, which is our CMOP, and chapter operating handbook, has been updated with all of the comments and suggestions that we've received from you in your chapters over the past 3 years. And so you will see at your local chapter level your chapter beginning to work through the process of adopting these documents in this new year. So be on the lookout for that. And with the next slide, I can describe a little more. Okay, so since fall of 2022, we put these documents on a 3-year review and update cycle. 2023 through 2025, we were in the process of collecting updates and edits, suggestions for those documents, reviewing and making updates that could be made over the summer. Fall, we completed those updates and sent out to our chapters. And then 2026, this new year, is when the documents are in place and they will be in place for the next 3 years. But we are continuing to collect suggestions for consideration over the next 3 years for the next review cycle. Okay, I mentioned last one, it was implemented. The last set of documents we had was the largest amount of changes and updates that we've had to the documents since they were instituted way back in the early 2000s. That cycle repeats in 2026. Again, documents reviewed on a regular three-year cycle as a member, and if you are reviewing these documents, work through your chapter, work with and through your chapter to provide comments and feedback collected through our website. We will be collecting those comments and feedback through summer of 2028. And then the next document cycle would go into effect in 2029 where needed. And then part of the process of updating the guiding documents for the program, we have a whole slew of additional operating resources on our website that are going through various forms of review as well. So kind of the next part in the process, we have this, you can see the list of documents on the right-hand side of the slide. Those are in various stages of review or update or completion. The brand guide has been completed with the 2005 or 2025 process. Community science and volunteer, the guide for community science and logging volunteer hours for that is almost done. And then the governing documents feedback form was updated as part of the process, culminating in 2025 and for the new year. So other documents that have been updated throughout the governing documents update process was our code of ethics and standards of conducts. Those were slightly updated. And everything is available on our website as well. I mentioned the brand guide, and Hannah will talk about that.
Yes. As Michelle mentioned, one of the documents that was updated was the brand guide. I know it was a long time coming, but it is a wealth of information for how to properly use the Texas Master Naturalist logo and how to properly create a chapter mark and how to properly use the Texas Master Naturalist title. So it is now on our website. It's in multiple places. It's on that chapter documents and resources page. It's on a couple the brand page. It's in a couple locations where you can find it. So please go to that, reference it whenever you're making designs. Again, it's a wealth of information. We also have some chapter templates that are available on that chapter templates and resources page that is password protected. Presidents and communication directors for each chapter have received the updated password for 2026 and are able to share those with whoever needs access to those resources. But just some very exciting things for the Master Naturalist brand and making sure that we remain consistent with it.
So throughout 2025, all of the work that we've talked about so far, including your accomplishments as Master Naturalists and the program, would not be possible without you. So work that went into the brand guide, feedback, the feedback that you provided for the guiding documents, and coordinating Master Naturalist annual meeting, contributing to the agenda there, and just everything the program does would not be possible without you and your commitment to the program. So thank you as Texas Master Naturalists and your volunteer service contributing to and carrying out the mission of our program. We've had a great 2025 and we can't wait to tell you more about what's in store for 2026.
Yeah, so let's jump right into what 2026 looks like. And while guiding documents and brand guide might not be everybody's flavor, these are resources that us as a state office are trying to provide to you, these guiding documents, these ideas, these resources, these processes, these flows, so that you have them in place to be successful as volunteers. Our goal for you in And engaging with the Master Naturalist program is to be hands in dirt, out in the field, working on the stewardship of the resources in your communities, in your areas. And so by making sure that we have these updated structures in place, we're hoping that we're answering questions before those questions are even being asked in your head as you're engaged in the Master Naturalist program. So saying that, especially for some of our new folks, where while we're talking about bylaws doesn't sound really exciting, it really does help to put that structure that Michelle was talking about into place so that you can be the most successful volunteers possible, and help us to do some of the great things out on the landscape. So our priorities for 2026, as Michelle already mentioned, is to wrap up our governing documents updates. Some of those individual documents below the line that she mentioned, getting those bylaws updated from each of the different chapters that have been communicated with your chapter presidents, and then going through any of the additional documents that were labeled that Michelle had in her slide previously. So again, while not all the really exciting parts of the program is the governing documents, we want to make sure that those are in place well in advance of you needing to have those for your stewardship activities. Some of the other updates we're going to talk about here in just a little bit that we're working on as a state program for 2026, our Conservation Wrangler Strategic Plan. I'll give more information about that. Our Pollinators for Texas project. And then our curriculum piece, we're not going to talk any more about that, but behind the scenes, Michelle and Hannah and myself and the team are working on updating our 6.5-pound basic training curriculum, our statewide curriculum. That is a multi-year process. And so while we did announce it in 2025, we just want to let you know that we're early on in this multi-year process for updating our curriculum. And so we don't anticipate any updates on that until at least 2028. But that is an ongoing project that our state office is continuing to work on. And so appreciate anybody who has been involved in that project so far, has provided feedback. Right now we're in that final review of the raw manuscript stage. So that is the micro detail stage. And so we're heavily invested in pushing that through with those timelines. And then some VMS updates, and Michelle will go through that in the next couple of slides as well. So our biggest project, or one of our big projects, not our biggest, they're all equally important for our program, but one big project that we started in 2025 and hope to wrap up in 2026 is the Conservation Wrangler Strategic Plan. Texan by Nature awarded us the opportunity to have one of their staff members dedicated to our program for a period of 12 to 18 months to help us to develop a strategic plan for the Master Naturalist program going forward into the next several years. We sent out surveys in the summer and fall of 2025, and thank you to all of the thousands of volunteers who replied back to that survey, provided information and feedback so that we can really make sure that this plan for the future of the program represents the needs and the wants and the values that you have as volunteers in our program. We are in deep data dive on that piece as well, as we had thousands of responses, really great engagement. And so we're making sure that we have, again, all of those pieces contributed into the program plan as we're going forward, with the goal for that to be completed in September of 2026. One of the other pieces that Texan by Nature provides, as we were awarded this Conservation Wrangler award from their organization, is they also provided us with this great opportunity to put a video together, a video showcasing the work of the Master Naturalist program, and Hannah's going to play that for you now.
All my life I've been associated with some sort of earth science interest. What I've found is a therapy that comes from being outside.
To me, being outside is restorative. It makes me feel like I am one with nature.
I found that developing a community of naturalists encourages all of us really to fall in love with nature. And when we fall in love with nature, we protect what we love, right?
My name is Mike Farley.
My name is Cynthia Chrysler.
My name is Sonia Koshorik. I'm a Texas Master Naturalist.
I am a Texas Master Naturalist.
I'm a Texas Master Naturalist.
Texas Master Naturalist program is a volunteer training and development program. We train our volunteers to assist us in the field, doing outreach, education, stewardship projects, research, and give back to conservation.
So Texas natural resources are under an increasing amount of pressure. With thousands of folks moving to Texas on a daily basis, we have a need for management of these ever-changing resources, needs for conservation education to our public. And so the Texas Master Naturalist program is here and ready to serve that changing Texas.
The Texas Master Naturalist program has trained more than 17,000 volunteers across the state during its 25+ year time frame. These volunteers exist in chapters across the state that are as diverse as the ecological regions and communities that they serve.
They've discovered new species of wolf spiders and plants, and they're often some of the first people to spot invasive species, so we can be on the forefront of making sure that those don't spread.
Anybody can be a volunteer, but in the Master Naturalist program, they train you to be more knowledgeable, to be a better volunteer.
Ornithology, natural resource management, local plant ecosystems, citizen science, and how to engage in the conservation of those species that they're learning about. We have over 45 chapters, and our Master Naturalists do everything.
As one person who works roughly 50 hours a week, there's only so many projects that I can do and see to fruition. But when we put together a group of 167 plus volunteers, that impact is magnified exponentially.
Being a Master Naturalist, of course, it's supposed to be giving back to your community, but it's a lot more than that. The more people that understand what's happening in the world, the better off it is.
Different people come to the program for different reasons. Overall, they want to learn more, they want to make a difference, they want to meet like-minded people. And so if I could sum up Master Naturalists in just one word, it's passion.
I think one of my favorite things about the program is I'm a lifelong learner surrounded by lifelong learners. That's one of their best ways how they engage the public. They make the natural world and the creepy crawly things that people might not even like sound interesting and sound fun.
Many of us adults, we've forgotten that there's a whole system out here that takes care of us and that we, in turn, must take care of it. The training began, it was intensive, it was fun, and I haven't stopped.
I think it's humbling to see that the special piece that so many people take away from the Master Naturalist program is the community relationships, is the people, it's the family that they found. So many of our conservation community partners need volunteers. They have a capacity need, and our Texas Master Naturalist volunteers are here and ready to serve that purpose.
Yeah, goosebumps always, always, always when watching that video. And so I've dropped the link for the YouTube direct link for that in the chat. And so we encourage you to use that as you're talking about the Master Naturalist program with your neighbors, with your friends, with your community organizations. Such a blessing to have Texan by Nature help us to produce that. But that video that really helps the story, to tell the story of what you guys are doing out on the land. So really appreciate that. And now moving into VMS.
So we were talking about, it's like, how do I follow that up with VMS? So we talked about the Master Naturalist curriculum update being a couple-year process and project. And so the VMS update has also moved into that category, being a couple-year update process. So we've already been working on updates for the past 2 years. It continues to undergo a refresh and rebuild to enable updates and new features that the Samaritan Company has promised. A lot of that work has been behind the scenes at this point still. And so for as our master naturalists on the ground doing everyday reporting. Overall, no changes have been, you should see really no changes yet as an end user, a reporting volunteer for the VMS. At the chapter level, in your VMS admin level, some things that have been taking place. We expanded the TMN VMS administrative team over the past year to 18 months, getting ready for conversion of the system. We anticipate a consolidation in the next few months. And what that means is we currently have our Master Naturalist has its own kind of account in the system, while the agency has another part of an account in the system. So we're merging those two items together, and it'll make things a little bit easier for the agency to manage all the volunteer hours as a whole. And then the two systems will really become one in that consolidation phase. So we anticipate a consolidation in the next few months. I have no ETA on that, but we will keep our VMS administrators updated with information the minute we learn it and as we learn it. And then training, once there are differences and changes for the end user, you who may be as an end user at the Master Naturalist level reporting hours, we will prepare and provide training to kind of give you an idea of what those changes are and where significant changes would be. So more to come on that multi-year project. Some reminders, we use this opportunity again at the beginning of each year. And over the past couple of years, we've kind of been reminding our members every month, members and chapters, use of the Master Naturalist title. You are part of an elite program. Our Texas Master Naturalist title, your chapter name and your program and chapter membership should never be used in connection with advocacy or to invoke policy. Our Master Naturalist title and certification should never be used for personal gain or profit. Remember that our Master Naturalist logo and title are trademarks. Chapters and members through their chapters must seek approval when adding them to or seeking to add them to chapter t-shirts, chapter merchandise, chapter and project flyers, and all of those things do need to be approved, reviewed, and approved through your chapter, and then through the state office as well, based on our guidelines. Public comment should only be made as a private citizen. Your TMN title should never be associated with your public comments. And then you can review these guidelines. These guidelines have not changed with any of these have been the guidelines for the program since the beginning of the program. And these guidelines did not change with the update of the guiding documents over the past year. So this is what our policies has been regarding the title, and it is what it will remain to be moving forward. Hannah?
All right. This is just a reminder. Of course, some of you who are new might be currently in your training or about to start your training. But for any chapters that have training in 2026, we have a webpage on our website for you to add those. It's a great way for if someone is wanting to join the program and they go to the main Texas Master Naturalist website first instead of their chapter website first, just a great way to drive that traffic back to your website so they can then apply to become a Master Naturalist. So just another place to put that information so people can find it easily. All of the when you put in your training, it also has your chapter website, so people are then directed back to that application. But again, just another way to try and get people, help them have all the information that they need to become a Texas Master Naturalist. So we have quite a few chapters that have already submitted there. It's 31 chapters are listed on that page. If you don't see your name there and you want to add your training to that page, you can use that QR code. You can also see on the homepage, there is a little tab for 2026 volunteer training courses. You can go there. There's a form at the bottom, and either the chapter president or chapter training director, whoever wants to do that, can go fill in that information, and we'll get that added to the website. But thank you to everyone who has already filled it in. I love seeing how full the map is with all the stars. And then if you haven't filled it in, go ahead and do so.
So one of the things we've always we like to do, we like to celebrate in the Master Naturalist program, celebrate your achievements. One of those being your chapter anniversaries. We have 8 chapters celebrating an anniversary in 2026. So celebrating a 15th anniversary is our Bodark chapter and our Longleaf Ridge chapter. Celebrating a 20th anniversary in 2026 is our Blackland Prairie, our Llano Estacado, and our South Plains chapter. And then the 25th anniversary, celebrating in 2026, is our Cradle of Texas chapter, the Galveston Bay Area chapter, and our Trans-Pecos chapter. Looking ahead to 2027, we've got another set of great big milestones for some of our chapters coming up. Alamo Area chapter will celebrate 30 years, Hill Country, Rio Grande Valley, Rolling Plains, and South Plains. South Texas will all celebrate a 25-year anniversary in 2027. Blue Stem will celebrate their 15th anniversary. Lower Trinity Basin will celebrate 10 years. And then Prairie Oaks chapter will celebrate 10 years as well. So we had, over the next 2 years, we have 16 chapters celebrating an anniversary. We do this to help you put this on your radar and plan to celebrate it, because it is a big achievement for your chapter at your local level and for your members. And we've over the past year, last year we had about a similar about 16 chapters that celebrated anniversaries. And these anniversary celebrations and volunteer recognitions events surrounding these anniversary celebrations just get better and better with each chapter that plans one. And so chapters that celebrated last year did some amazing things. And so we encourage you as chapters to connect with those chapters who have celebrated over the past year and years previous, and really celebrate something big in the next 2 years with these anniversaries coming up.
Right. And another thing to get excited for with 2026 is our TMN Tuesdays. Of course, you are currently attending, if you're here live or you're watching the recording, for the first TMN Tuesday of 2026. But we released the dates for all of them at the end of last month, beginning of last month, whenever I sent that out. But you can go ahead and sign up for most of them on our TMN Tuesday webpage. You'll see a couple of places where there's a big register now button, and you can go ahead and click all the way through and sign up for the whole year. You'll notice that one is missing, and that's our October one. That's because we'll be doing another live from the annual meeting, TMN Tuesday, on a Friday, Saturday, whatever day it ends up being. But we had a very successful live TMN Tuesday this last October. If you have not watched that one, I highly recommend you go back and watch that one. That one was probably my personal favorite from last year's TMN Tuesdays. But we plan to do that again this year. So that will be released once we're a little bit closer to October and that date. But you can use that QR code to go to our TMN Tuesday page, make sure you're registered for everything, mark those dates in your calendar. Again, they're usually about an hour. We have some that go a little longer, but we'll let you know if they are a longer TMN Tuesday for that month. But they're typically an hour. You can watch them live or recorded. And for the year of 2026, these all will count for advanced training. So just make sure that you follow that 45-day reporting window and mark them as you watch them in 2026. And all of these recordings will also be put on the YouTube, and you'll see these as we go through the year. Each video will be next to that year. So you can go to our TMN Tuesday page to find them, or go straight to our YouTube page to find them, whichever you find easier.
Some other exciting things to look forward to in 2026. Michelle, you want to talk about the pin?
Yeah, so if you weren't at our Master Naturalist annual meeting in October, that's typically Yeah, thanks. It's typically when we announce what our next year's annual recertification pin will be. And we did that in October at the annual meeting. In 2026, our annual recertification pin will be the Bobcat. And we had a great presentation telling us about the Bobcat and why it was chosen as the pin for 2026, recertification pin for Master Naturalist in 2026. And so we're going to reiterate that presentation with a little more added to it in our February TMN Tuesday. So you'll get to meet the Bobcat more in February for the February Texas Master Naturalist TMN Tuesday event.
And one more thing I forgot to mention for the TMN Tuesdays, we typically announce the topics 2 weeks in advance. Obviously, we're going to let you know that the Bobcat's coming so you can get excited. But you won't see the socials or the emails or anything like that for that until 2 weeks leading up to the event. And then we'll do a 1 week announcement, and then don't forget it's tomorrow announcement. So don't fret if you're wondering, well, they haven't told me what the topic is. 2 weeks in advance is when we let you know. So just so you're aware of that.
Another date to put on your calendar for 2026 is our annual virtual volunteer fair. Started during our pandemic years when we needed ways to engage in virtual service or distance-based service, and continued on for the last 6 years as a way to engage in virtual or distance service for programs during the hot summer months, or engage with new virtual-based volunteer opportunities for those volunteers looking for ways to diversify their service back into the communities. Our annual virtual volunteer fair in 2026 will be April 14th. That is our April TMN Tuesday. Again, we're announcing it early, as Hannah said, but we'll have more information on our website and on our social media pages as we get closer to the event. But our request to you as volunteers is to think about those partner organizations and those project leaders that might need some virtual or distance-based service from other statewide volunteer folk, from other Master Naturalist volunteers from around the state, and help us to spread that announcement once it does go live for our virtual volunteer fair. And then the second piece there that you can do right now is go ahead and put that calendar date on your calendar and plan to attend the virtual volunteer fair in 2026. And then a date that we do not have yet. I wish we had it by today. I was so hoping that it was going to just work out as I wanted it to, but life doesn't do that for you all the time. But our annual meeting for 2026 is going to be in Waco, Texas this year. It will be in October, and that's as close as I can get to telling you when it will be. We are desperately waiting. Patience is not my strong suit. But we are waiting for the Baylor football schedule to come out to finalize a couple of the weekends that we have on hold with the Waco Convention Center. But as soon as we have that date, we will announce that from the tops of the mountains and across all of our channels of communication. But do get excited for us, do get excited with us as we plan on going to Waco, Texas in October of 26 to explore the Blackland Prairies cross timber ecosystem mixes that happen there along that I-35 corridor, and all of the really great archaeological sites and deep historical sites that are in that area as well. So excited to have more information about the annual meeting coming in the next couple of months. And then I'm going to let Christian Lopez cover the Pollinators for Texas updates, and if you also want to share your new role with the Master Naturalist program as well.
Hello, everybody. I'm Christian, and as introduced earlier, I've been working with the program since August 2024, and I've just recently assumed Hannah Thornton's position, working with the Pollinators for Texas initiative, which I'm super excited to be getting into. Thank you to everybody who I've interacted with so far. But yeah, for any questions going forward related to Pollinators for Texas matters, you can reach out to me through the Pollinators for Texas email, TMN Pollinators for Texas at ag.timber.edu. And Yeah, I'm very excited to announce first off that our 2024-2025 Project Awards annual report has finally been compiled. Huge thank you to all of the chapters in our first year of awarded projects for all of the work you did and for getting us the information to report on. So it can be accessed from our website on the Pollinators for Texas page, or there's also a QR code that you can scan and that'll take you directly to the report PDF. So yeah, thank you to everybody once again. And then as for current 2025 awarded projects, work is being done for those. And the upcoming deadline is for the mid-year report for all awarded chapters. That's going to be at 11:59 on Friday, January 30th. And we had asked that y'all submitted them closer to the date just to have the most up-to-date information. But yeah, thank you to everybody for getting that in. And another big thing that we're hoping to get as many of as possible are photos of your projects. So we have, through the Google form on the mid-year report, I've extended it to where you guys can do the max of 10 photos on there. But if you have any more photos, feel free to email them. The only thing is that for all photos, we will need to have the signed media release form like in years past. So that link is in the email if you're one of the project leads, or if you just need access to it. Once again, feel free to email me anything you need. I will be keeping track of that. And then looking forward, if you had been awarded in years past, or maybe a chapter who are looking to have a project funded, we're going to be having more information coming out about the 2026 project grant. That should be coming out in April. We're currently finalizing just some details with HEB, but we anticipate that project funding will be up to $4,000. So very excited to continue our third year with them. And once again, sincere thanks to everybody who's helped with us so far.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Christian, for your work and for continuing on with this project. Excited to see more Pollinators for Texas projects as we go into 2026.
Thing to add for his note on the photos. Photos are such an important part of telling the story of these projects. So first of all, don't forget to take any photos, and not just photos of the plants with, a butterfly or a bee on it, but photos of you planting the plants, photo of you doing the activity, photos of, digging, action shots, pose shots, all of the things. But also don't forget that note, in order for HEB to be able to use those photos, they need to have that media release form for all individuals within the photo. So even if one individual is missing, HEB won't be able to use those photos. The state office will still be able to use them and share them, but HEB won't be able to, and they're an important part and partner for this Pollinators for Texas initiative. So just keep that in mind when you're sharing those photos with Christian, that he really does need that media release form for every individual in those photos.
Thank you, Hannah.
All right, moving into wrapping up our state of the program, a couple of resources that we have available for you as Master Naturalists as you engage in your service in 2026. We have our AgriLife Learn store, our apparel store that has a variety of different hats and lanyards and t-shirts and jackets and so much more to brand yourself as a Master Naturalist as you go out and engage in that stewardship project, those pollinator gardens, those educational events with your chapter locally. So that AgriLife Learn store is there. It's linked with that QR code, and I'll drop the hard link in the chat here in just a second. A great way to, again, wrap up your Christmas holiday spending season, maybe with a gift to yourself as you're going forward into your Master Naturalist service this year. And then the next piece of branding that you can look for to start off the new year right is to put on a new Master Naturalist license plate for your vehicle, your personal trailer, your boat, your RV, one of your operating vehicles. We have standard non-personalized license plates through the DMV, and also personalized license plates available. And both of those plates, if purchased, provide resources and funding back into the Master Naturalist program that we are then able to provide back out into the community of chapters through different operational procedures. So excited to see those license plates out there on the land. It's always fun when you can spot one out in the wild. And so speaking of spotting license plates out in the wilds, here are some that we've seen recently. And love to see those photos come in when you find a fellow Master Naturalist out on the streets driving and operating safely, but representing their love for the Master Naturalist program out and about.
And anyone can order a Master Naturalist license plate, so Dragonfly license plate. It's not limited to Master Naturalist. So even if you have friends who aren't involved in the program yet, they can purchase a license plate as well. So it's for everyone.
And then speaking of additional operating funding, we established the Texas Master Naturalist Endowment in 2016 as a way to generate perpetual funding for the program going forward. And we're in the snowball phase for that project as we develop the endowment in partnership with Texas A&M Foundation and the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Foundation. And that endowment fund, we regularly like to report out to your chapter presidents and our leaders as that fund continues to snowball and grow. And so it currently sits at $225,000, and it's an opportunity for you to invest in the Master Naturalist program for perpetuity. We have a website, masternaturalistendowment.org, that I'll also drop in the link. I'll also drop that link in the chat for you to consider as you're looking at individual or chapter gifts, employer gift matching, or even estate planning. So we appreciate your service and your time and your value of the Master Naturalist program. We also appreciate any sort of financial contributions that you may be inclined to give as well. And thank you to all of those who have given over the past several years. And then the next piece of wrap up is the Friends of TMN, a big initiative that had lots of work to do in 2025. Michelle, you want to talk about the work of the Friends of group?
Yeah, so the Friends of Master Naturalist group really got themselves going and started within the last year, so 2025. They have a group of officers and even just recently elected a new vice president. Julie Vickers has joined that group as well. Jeanette Guyman joined as their treasurer, Carolyn Lang and I as the secretary. President is Donna Cole. One of their main functions is to support the Master Naturalist annual meeting. And they really took on a lot of the fiscal management of the annual meeting over the past year or so. A huge responsibility, and we thank the organization for assisting the Master Naturalist program in that manner. So in the new year, they are always looking for new members, new officers. So if you have an interest in the Friends of Master Naturalist group and supporting that group, please reach out to Donna Cole. And that is open to Master Naturalists who've been in the program for a while. It is not a service hours opportunity, though, for Master Naturalists. So these kind of individuals are managing the support organization for this Friends of support organization out of the kindness and goodness of their hearts. They are not doing it for volunteer service. In fact, they're not able to count that as volunteer service in the Master Naturalist program. So if you have more questions about that, please contact Donna Cole. And we look forward to more great things from the Friends organization over the next year. And then wrapping up the more slides for today's presentation, resources for you on your TMN journey. So I know a lot of you, as we were getting started, indicated this was your first ever Master Naturalist TMN Tuesday advanced training, and you're just starting on your journey as a Master Naturalist volunteer. either as a trainee in your new chapter, or most of you have come in just as a new trainee in your chapter, or maybe you just graduated in 2025 as a newly certified Texas Master Naturalist. So we, first and foremost, we have our state website as our kitchen sink of all things, that we call it. If we have information to share, we try to put it there. If there's a question you may have for the Master Naturalist program, about the Master Naturalist program, we try to answer it there. So there's a great search bar at the top. You can see the top right-hand corner. Great search bar. If you have a question, topic that you can't find in any of the drop-down menus, you can search that search bar, and you can usually find it there. So mentioning again the website as our kitchen sink of all the information, all the question and answers, and more about the program. The second thing we have is our Naturalist news. That is on our website. Other timely information we try to get out through that Naturalist news through a blog post on our website. So Naturalist news has several items you can look for there, several drop-down menus that you can search for there. We have a listserv, an email listserv. As a member, you can sign up to receive information from that listserv. I will say, it's not just the Master Naturalist program that shares information there from our state office. We sometimes have other members and other organizations that share mission critical and sometimes tangential information through that listserv too. So events that are added to the listserv are not always applicable to all chapters in the program. And then certainly events that are added to the listserv and our calendars sometimes are not automatically approved for advanced training. So a lot of times you'll see training announcements that'll be shared through the listserv. Nothing on the listserv is not automatically approved. So everything that is shared regarding service projects or advanced training through the listserv does have to be reviewed and pre-approved, improved first at your local chapter level. Other quick links on the website, certainly as a Master Naturalist, reporting hours, get to our VMS system quick. There is a link there, hot link there to get to the system. We also have a help desk, a VMS help desk for questions. As a new member, you might want to work through your chapter first for VMS questions. And then secondly, if they're not able to help you, an admin can assist with submitting a help desk ticket. And then our chapter documents page is, we mentioned earlier in the presentation today that we just gone through a huge review and update, or not huge, but we've gone through a review and update of our guiding documents for the program, and those can all be found on the documents page.
All right. Michelle, you want to give us the last but not least?
I'd like Hannah to do this one.
Yeah?
She developed it.
This is just a fun thing that we've started doing kind of annually, but just some Texas Master Naturalist themed New Year resolutions. You know, some people might say, well, I'm going to work out more. Some people might say, well, I'm going to eat healthier. But what would a Master Naturalist say that their New Year's resolutions are going to be? So we came up with a couple that we put on. You probably saw it on our socials. If you're not following us on socials, go find us, Texas Master Naturalist, on all the things. Mainly Facebook and Instagram are our two most popular ones. So go, especially if you're new, go follow us there. We post a lot of updates, but that's just a little aside. So we put together some New Year's resolutions. Attend every TMN Tuesday. If you are here live, you're already on a great start. You know, we can count recordings potentially. We can count recordings too. Apply for Pollinators for Texas. That's a big one. Again, any questions, contact Christian. Encourage someone to join TMN. We're always looking to grow, always looking for new members. Attend the 2026 annual meeting. I know that one you're kind of like, we don't know the dates yet. I know, we're feeling the same way about that. But you can still mark October and just prepare that one weekend's going to be booked with you being in Waco for the annual meeting. Volunteer on a new project. Chapters are coming up with the coolest new projects all the time for you to volunteer on. maybe branch out a little. Maybe try something new. Maybe you like to get your hands dirty. Maybe you try one of the outreach where you stand behind a table and talk to people a little bit more. Branch out, do something a little bit different. And then this one, a little generic, but also so easy when you're surrounded by master naturalists, because just talking in a casual conversation, you're probably going to learn something new. But learn something new. Those are the 6 we had on that social post. As you can see, we also threw in some others for the list on the side there. But if you haven't been, go ahead and start putting in the chat what maybe some of your New Year's resolutions would be for the Master Naturalist program. I believe
I see some great suggestions for other New Year's resolutions in the chat. Meet all of my fellow chapter members, especially if you come from a large chapter and you haven't met all of your fellow chapter members. Make that a goal of yours. Looking to volunteer alongside a family member who might also be a master naturalist or might be going through one of the associated programs, projects with the Master Naturalist program. We have so many members that have family that they bring in and say, I took this training, now you take it too, like Hannah said, and recruit somebody new. Go on more field trips looks like a great Master Naturalist New Year's resolution as well. So excited about so many ways to engage and continue to engage in the program in 2026. With that, as we wrap up the hour, thank you, as Michelle stated at the beginning of the hour, thank you for everything that you do as Master Naturalists as we go into 2026 as a program. We're so excited to see all of the successes of you as individuals and you as chapters, and the stewardship that you are making possible on the landscape across Texas, and can't wait to see all that you do.
Thank you everyone for attending today, and so excited to be working with you over 2026 and the new year.